Hey everyone, I'm Susie Hassan and I'm the Gadget Queen. And on this season finale, it is all about the biggest gadget I have in my kitchen. This is the Ooni pizza oven. So yes, we are doing fresh homemade pizzas today, but we're also gonna be doing ribs in here. We're gonna be doing some sweet corn in here too. It's gonna be a fantastic big barbecue with our big gadget of the whole season. I cannot wait to show you this in my Gadget kitchen. Let's get started. Okay, so when I said this is Big Gadget Day, I am not playing around. I have the biggest gadget and the best gadget, I think, that I'm going to show you all season. And I've shown you a little bit from this brand. When you've seen me using the griddles and the cast iron skillets, I've said Ooni, right? You've heard me say the name Ooni for all the great cast iron skillets. But what they're really known for is their awesome pizza ovens. They have a ton of different models, but the one that I'm using today is called the Karu, K-A-R-U. And the cool thing about this one is that you can use it with wood, charcoal, and gas. So all three will work with this particular one. That's why it's my favorite, and it's the perfect size. So we're gonna do some fun pizzas today, and we're gonna be doing it in the Ooni pizza oven. Now, the cool story behind this, you think that a pizza maker created this machine, but no, it's actually two people, a husband and a wife team. They actually had an education company, if you can believe it. It was Christian and Dorina. And Christian, the husband, decided he wanted something to really make great pizza. It was kind of a hobby of his to be making pizzas at home, but he could never get it the same great flavor as he did when he went to his favorite brick house pizza oven that was down the street. So he is not an inventor, he's not a designer, but he penciled to paper and came up with this idea. And that's how Ooni pizza was born. And when you have the pizza out of this thing, it is amazing. It's gonna be the best pizza you've ever had. Trust me, not the same as an oven, absolutely not the same as frozen. You're gonna see when I make this pizza hot and fresh in, I'd say, less than 2 minutes. You're gonna have fresh pizza. All right, let's get started. Okay, so before we get the pizza in here, we have to prep the oven first. Now you see I have the big chute on here, but that's actually when you're using wood or coal. But I just wanted to show you this is how the smoke would billow out of the top when you're using those two things. But today we're using propane. Now, I have this inside our kitchen, but I want to make sure you guys understand that this is something that should be outside, like your normal grill would be outside. So do not use this inside, but we're in a special kitchen so we can do that. But at home, don't try this at home, okay? But get it home, but take it outside, all right? So hopefully you guys understand that because that's important. Now, because I'm using propane, I don't have the chute on anymore. I put the little cover on the top. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on and get it to the right temperature we need. Okay, so my Ooni pizza oven is heating up, so I'm gonna get my dough ready to go. All right, so the cool thing is that this does make pizza so quickly that you're gonna wanna make a couple, because the first time that I made this for my husband, we ate the whole thing in 3 minutes. It was that good. Okay, so we're gonna just go ahead, put a little flour down. I got my dough down. Now, you don't want the pizza though to be too big. For this particular model, we're gonna keep it a nice, kind of more like a bistro size pizza. You know, it's like a little bit bigger than an individual pizza, but it's still shareable. That's the kind of size we're looking for. So here with my dough, I actually have enough for 4 pizzas with this dough. So I'm gonna go ahead and just slice it into 4s. Now they also give you a really nice slicer to go with this. All right. So I'm gonna get my dough separated here. This is one of those times where I wish I could do one of those things, you know, but this is all I got for you. This is it, okay? All right, now I'm just gonna roll this out. A little dough, a little flour there. And he's gonna be the perfect pizza. Okay. All right. All right, so now we're ready to sauce up our pie here. I got little Nessie always helping me out. His little feet are helping me spread the sauce. Now for this, I'm doing a classic. I'm just gonna do a little mozzarella. Spread that sauce out a little bit more. Okay. Now, get my cheese. Okay. Oh, I am so pumped to get my big gadget on. All right, and you have the right tools for the job. So this is the proper pan to pop it into a really hot oven. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just watch these skills. Ha! It's pretty slick, yeah? Pretty slick. All right, so let me make sure that the oven is the right temperature and then I'm gonna pop this in. All right, so we have our oven ready to go, but you also get this really cool heat gun to make sure that you're at the right temperature, okay? Okay, so for the perfect pizza, you want to aim for 725 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's 400 degrees Celsius, and this will show you both. So we're gonna go ahead and hit it in the middle, and here we are, 725 degrees. All right, and for this, we just want to make sure we're turning it every 20 to 30 seconds. And we're gonna get the perfect pizza. All right, so we're seeing the edges start to kind of come up. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little turn so you can see how beautiful this pizza is looking. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it. And you just wanna do this every 20 to 30 seconds. Make sure you're getting that nice even heating on the crust. And this pizza is definitely cooking within a minute. I mean, it's not taking much time at all to be bubbly and perfect. We got one little section left, so you see how at least 3 sections are ready. So I'm just gonna do that one last piece for another couple seconds here, and then we are gonna be good to go. All right, I think that we're done. So here we go. Let's take a look. Look at that perfect pizza in the Uni pizza oven. I mean, you could do this all day long. This is definitely pizzeria style pizza. Fresh, homemade, definitely better than frozen, definitely better than delivery, and we're gonna slice into this thing. Your girl Suze has got a slicer or two, and I got some fun ones I wanna show you. Okay, so the first one though, this is Uni, so I have to show you theirs because I usually don't use or even have a big boy slicer. I've always thought this was kind of just for restaurants really, but they sent me one of these big guys, so I gotta cut with the big guy first. All right, so let's take a big slice. All right, here we go. Oh man, that's some serious power there. That's like no joking around. All right, this is like one of those horror movie type slicers. All right, so this thing is no joke. Then I got a couple other fun ideas. This one is from Jokari, and it's actually a good idea because there's a little safety mechanism that comes with the slicer. So a lot of times the slicer is kind of open. Kind of what do you do with that, right? So this, it has a little safety device on the end. So you just like open and close it. And that makes for a fun slice as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you with the Jokari slicer. Slice right through. Simple as that. And when you're done, you just simply close it. Well, you wipe it off first and then you close it. All right, but you know, my favorite one in the kitchen is always the quirkiest one. So here's my bicycle slicer that I love using anytime I can. It's just an excuse to use it. And I love that he's got 2 wheels because then he just goes through and gives you a nice, perfect slice. I mean, how fun is this? You have your pizza night and you're using your bicycle slicer, like that's perfect. All right, here we go. All right, now let me just pull out. And it's always like, you know, what slice do you want, right? So take a look at all the cheese, all that gooiness. All right, now I gotta take a bite of this one. Here we go. Oh my God. That is so fresh. That cheese is just melty. It's hot, it's so warm. Oh my God. That dough is cooked perfect. I'll tell you what, I was trying to save that pizza over here for later, but I don't know if it's gonna make it that long. All right, I have a few more things I want to pop in this oven. So let me show you. I got ribs and corn coming up. Okay, now if you think that pizza was exciting, wait till I make you some ribs in there, all right? So I'm gonna do a dry rub here, and I've got my ribs from Happy to Meet You, our fabulous meat sponsor for this season, and I'm doing beef ribs because that is my favorite. All right, so I'm gonna get my rub going first. Now, I'm a brown sugar girl, all right? I'm a sugary, sweet type of rub person, type of sauce person. So I got my brown sugar in there. I've got red chili flakes. I've got a little paprika in here too, and some garlic salt, onion salt. I mean, anything really goes in a dry rub. Whatever piques your fancy, just go with it. All right? I don't think you can go wrong putting brown sugar in anything, so just go with that. All right, just mix that up a little bit. Now I'm just gonna coat my ribs. And now for this, I'm actually gonna use the Uni cast iron skillet because they're actually designed to work together. So you can put all the Uni stuff in the oven. So I'm gonna go ahead and just place my ribs here. And you gotta have your meat, if you're doing meat in there, on something. You really shouldn't have it just on the oven itself. It should probably be, you know, in a really high heat baking dish. So a cast iron skillet is really gonna be the way to go. All right, so we're gonna put that in the oven. All right, so I let my dry rub kind of do its thing for a little bit, and now I'm ready to pop it in the oven. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this little guy. And if you see, I love the size of the skillet. It's the perfect size for my little ribs. And I'm gonna go ahead and just pop it in. That's when the handle also comes into play here. All right, now, next up, I'm also gonna do some nice charred corn because I'm gonna do a little Mexican street corn action here. So I'm gonna get to my corn.
Quality, prime, fresh meats, cut fresh and delivered fast straight to your door. With Happy to Meet You, we help you bring the steakhouse to your house. The mission is simple: to deliver delicious premium meats while guaranteeing freshness at a great value, all delivered straight to your home with 100% satisfaction guaranteed, because after all, we have our reputation at stake. For more information on our premium selections and how to order, go to www.happytomeetyou.com.
Okay, so Rib's favorite side dish has to be corn, okay? And I got a couple fun corn gadgets I cannot wait to show you. Okay, so first, before we can char our corn, we have to unwrap the corn. And I have a fun little gadget here to help us with the silk. So how many times do you go ahead and you unwrap the corn, right? You shuck the corn, and there's the little silk, it's already happening. The little silks get everywhere. And so they make such a mess, and then they stick to the corn, and it's a whole situation. But I found the perfect little gadget to help you get off all the silk. Take a look. It's almost like a little silk car wash, you know? So you put the corn in the little silker, and you see it just takes off the silk as it comes down. So that way you have less silk on your corn when you're going to boil them. It just gives you a nice cleaner corn. You don't have all the little silks everywhere. And I've got family members who actually, this is what they do every year. They kind of shuck their corn and they save it. So if you're definitely saving corn, you don't want all the silk on there. So nice, perfectly clean ear of corn. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and set it into my cast iron skillet and do a couple more. You ever open up one of these and find a little worm in there when you get it from the farmer's market? I used to be like, there's a little worm. But don't worry, he's a friendly worm if you ever come across one. It's kind of like brushing his hair a little bit. I guess you're brushing it off. All right. And that's perfect. All right, I think I need one more. Now for this, I'm gonna pop it into the pizza oven as well. But remember, even though we call it a pizza oven, it does a lot more. Because I got my ribs in there. All right, so I just got this one little ear left. Okay. And that looks good. Okay. Now this goes into the oven. Now for the corn, it's gonna cook a little faster than the ribs, of course. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in the front. And then my ribs are just gonna get pushed a little bit back to the back. And then we're gonna take out our corn once it's charred. All right, so I think my corn is ready. All right, beautifully charred. Now we're gonna go ahead and assemble our Mexican street corn. All right, so we have our charred corn and we are ready to make our Mexican street corn. But first I need to take the charred kernels off of the cob, and you know I got a gadget for that. So take a look at this. This is a corn kernel remover. So it just strips the corn of all the kernels. And you get perfect kernels. So if you want to do just regular kernels and like a sweet corn or a cream corn or a Mexican street corn that we're doing today, this is the perfect little gadget to do it. Now I do have some tips, okay? So when you're using it with any cooked corn, you want to actually make sure that the corn has time to kind of get to a room temperature. You don't want to put it in when it's piping hot, like whether you're charring it or even boiling it. You have to make sure that it's not too hot. Otherwise, this is going to kind of turn into like a little suction cup, and the heat is going to create a situation where this is going to actually be very difficult to pop off the bottom. And you want to pop off the bottom because that's how you get the kernels to come out of the device. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and show you how to use this. So I'm going to open this up. Now, here at the bottom, there's a little metal kind of stand here that you put your corn in. So we're gonna go ahead and just place our corn down, and that helps him stay put. Okay. And just line it up right there. Make sure that the top is on tight, and then we just strip it down. So this, you have this little turn piece at the top. So you just go ahead and turn, and you see I'm stripping my corn. All right, that does it perfect. All right, now I'm gonna show you here. I'm gonna empty it out in this bowl. So you see it empties from the bottom. So here we go. I'm gonna show you all the kernels that pop out, and it's perfect. All right, so we're gonna do the rest of these, and it'll just be done in a jiffy. And there you go. I mean, take a look. Take a look at the corn. I mean, look how stripped it is. I mean, look how many kernels we took off of this, you know, with this little device. Now, I think the big thing here to know with this particular device is that you think it's going to be one of those things where you push this down. No, you actually turn the little knob. Okay, that's how it works. So you turn the knob, and that's what helps push the slicer down. Now take a look again. We're gonna go ahead and open this. And I'll tell you what, I learned the hard way. When I put hot corn in here, this thing wouldn't come off. So I had all these fabulous kernels in there that I couldn't use. Okay, and I just have one more. We're gonna hit this with some cheese and spices, a little cilantro. It's gonna be great. Okay, and I think that might be the last of it. And there you go. So I just want to show you how perfectly these kernels are stripped. I mean, it's just like a whole, literally a whole strip of kernels. All right, now we're gonna break them up. I always feel bad breaking up the strips, but we're gonna break them up because we're gonna mix them around with all of our other ingredients. All right, I think this is looking good. So what I love about this corn dish is that it kind of popped up out of nowhere overnight. It was like Mexican street corn, what is that? And then all of a sudden everybody was making it, and there's a reason. It's because it's so good. I mean, it's corn with cheese and mayo. I don't even know how we haven't been eating this longer, but it's going to be so good. Okay, so I've got my corn ready to go. Now here, I'm just gonna add a little bit of sour cream, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of mayo. All right, and then I'm gonna add my cojita cheese. All right, give that a little toss here. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, and it needs a little cilantro. So I'm gonna just chop up some cilantro here, hold that aside. Now, what you could do if you wanted, you could put it back in the oven, put a little more cheese on top. But it's not necessary. If you're just wanting to get to it and get eating it now, just get to it then. All right, I'm gonna put it here in this little dish. Always love a great corn side dish. Just add a little bit of that on top. I mean, that's perfect. Now our corn is ready to go, and we're gonna check on those ribs. Now I know I already did the Mexican street corn, but I have to show you this really fun gadget to eat corn on the cob the normal way, right? Just like this. That's like the classic style. So I found this really cute little butter holder that pushes the butter out so you can easily butter your corn. Okay, so here, we're just pushing it down. So you see how it pushes down? It's like a butter push pop, but pushes down. All right, so then you get the perfect butter. And then that's it. Then you're ready to eat into your corn. Perfectly buttered. All right, now I think our ribs are done, and I'm ready to show you everything that we made for our barbecue. Okay, now because I did a brown sugar rub, I'm gonna keep the brown sugar train going, okay? You can't get it sweet enough for me. So I'm doing a Kraft sweet brown sugar. I'm just loading it up today. And on the top, I've got this little baster buddy that is from Jokari. So you just put it onto the top of a bottle, and you squeeze out, and you see how the barbecue sauce just comes right out? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just baster up. Now you wanna make sure that you're gonna do this toward the end of the barbecue so you don't burn all the sugars off from the sauce. But I'm gonna tell you a little secret. Sometimes I do put a little sauce on in the beginning because I kinda like the charred taste every now and then. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. Can never have too much, right? Okay, that's looking awesome. I'm gonna put this back in the oven for another few minutes just to kind of let that sauce sink in a little. And then we will be ready for our little barbecue. This has been the Big Gadget episode from our friends at Uni Pizza Oven. We made the perfect pizza, the perfectly cooked beef ribs from our friends at Happy to Meet You who provided the great ribs. And we had our great charred corn that we made all with this one pizza oven. Yes, it's the Big Gadget, but we can't forget all of the little gadgets that we've been using all season long. And I have to take time out to show you one last look at everything that we used. Look at all the gadgets we used this entire season. So much fun in the Gadget Queen kitchen. From the littlest baby gadgets to the big boy gadgets and everything in between. We had the super high-tech gadgets and the manual gadgets. All of them were so great and easy to use. And that's what the Gadget Queen kitchen is all about. Making your life more fun, more easy with incredible chef quality results. Thanks so much for joining me. We loved having you. And if you want to keep the fun going, find us on social media at Gadget Queen TV and Susie Hassan TV. And if you haven't noticed by now, this is why they call me the Gadget Queen. We'll see you next time.